Hello and welcome to Chasing Green Arrows. Today I have with me Mr. Tarek Kreidie. How are you doing, bro?
Good. How are you, bro?
I'm doing well. Today we'll be looking at the upcoming FPL Game Week 3. Looking forward to it. Game Week 2, you were really spot on. Don't get carried away because after Game Week 1, everyone put Salah in their team. They put Vardy in their team. And then it was Son and Calvert-Lewin scoring the goals this week. So, this is FPL, man. You have to trust your team and then make a few changes here and there, but, not many radical changes. A lot of people played the wild cards. They transferred Son out. You probably saw that. So this is the beauty of FPL. You need to trust your team, and you were spot on about that.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, you have to be patient, and whenever you do transfers, you have to make sure the person you're taking out, for sure won't do well. But I mean, this was actually the highest score in game week. I think it's a record or something in a while.
Yeah, because a midfielder scored 4 goals and then Calvert-Lewin as well.
No, I mean in terms of goals, just goals in general. The most goals in a game week in a long time. So not every game week is like this, where every team is going to score 5 goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Just so don't get too excited with Son.
Yeah. Make the same mistake, transfer Son in and take out Salah. That's what people might do. You have to be patient with your team, basically.
Definitely.
And the people who held on to Son for Game Week 2, credit to them, because someone like a Salah or somebody else or like a Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno, they would be really tempting. But if you held on to Son, credit to them.
Mm-hmm.
And just looking forward to this week. Any more thoughts do you have about last game week, or do you have any other thoughts? Anything else that you noticed?
I mean, the big thing is that all the teams, I guess, other than United, most of the big teams with the big players scored. So Son scored 4, Kane got 4 assists, De Bruyne got a goal and assist, Mane got 2 goals. There's a lot of big hitters this week, but this doesn't usually happen. Most of the times, it's your defenders that makes your week tough. So advice is don't get too excited, or don't think that you have to bring in Son now or Kane, or you know what I mean. Just keep playing the same way you're playing. If you have Salah, he's playing Arsenal next. I mean, it is a tough fixture, but you take off Salah, and then Salah will score.
Yeah, because then you have problems with -4s and everything. If you need to take a hit for getting 2 players in, a big player, and if you need to take a hit, that'll cause the -4. So it's better for now to just stick with your team for a few weeks and then see what to do later on.
Definitely, but I think we should look into each player and how they did to know if they're worth bringing in eventually. Not necessarily this game.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we can speak about the Spurs game. That was out of nowhere.
But before you mentioned that, you mentioned Son, you mentioned Kane, you mentioned Salah. You didn't mention Tarek Lamptey.
Oh,
he got an assist.
He got man of the match, but he was taken off as a precaution. So he got taken off the 57th minute, and if he completed the 60 minutes, he would have got a clean sheet plus assist with full bonus. Probably would have got 12 points. And I'm telling you, this guy got an assist and a clean sheet. So he's actually very promising. Brighton are playing really well. So yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Go ahead. You wanted to talk about Spurs?
Yeah. So the Spurs games, I've noticed Southampton have been playing as if they think they're Liverpool with a very high line, and I just don't think it's working for them. If you saw the game against Palace, Zaha scored a goal, second goal, but it was called offside. But that goal was basically the offside line. The last defensive line was so high that it could have been called onside. And they played the same way against Spurs, and Spurs every single goal, if you see, was a Kane pass from behind the halfway or close to halfway. It was all counter-attack goals. So my strategy when I see stuff like this is target players that are going to play against Southampton. Not necessarily.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Targeting the teams. Whoever's playing Southampton, get those strikers and.
My new strategy I've been doing is target teams that aren't doing well. the players are going to play teams. So
That's a
like, you're
smart way to
looking,
look at it.
yes, in that way it helps because you're not just going for Son. When Son plays Newcastle next, actually Newcastle isn't that good of a team this year. But anyways, for example, next week Southampton's playing against Burnley, and I wouldn't be surprised if Chris Wood gets a brace. For example,
Yeah.
Burnley win 2 or 3, we'll see.
Yeah. Very smart way to look at it.
But honestly, I've noticed one thing, which was when Kane and Son are on form, they stay on form for at least 4 or 5 games.
So when they're in the zone, yeah.
So this is like a good time to bring them in, regardless, because Son, when they're on form, they end up like scoring goals. And do you have any thoughts about that game?
For the Spurs Southampton game or the next upcoming?
Yeah, Southampton.
Spurs Southampton. I think you got to bang on. Like the defense was shaky, Southampton's, and like Tottenham played well. Credit to them, but like I think it was more of Southampton's. Tottenham played well, but like it was more of Southampton's lapses. So your point about picking players against them, I think that's a valid point. But yeah, Son was magnificent. Like scoring 4 goals is no mean feat, and Kane with the assists. Credit to them. But like I still want to wait and see in Tottenham. But another question I wanted to ask you, Spurs, they lost the first game. So a lot of people want to transfer out their players. United lost the first game against Crystal Palace, a match they should have won. Would you leave out Bruno from your team, transfer him out if you have him, or would you put him back or keep him? Because we saw people who took out Son and Kane, they regretted it a week after.
I mean, that's a very good question, honestly. So United, I think their preseason is not that good in terms of they didn't play that many games.
Ole's at the wheel.
Huh? Oh, and then they played Palace, who had a great preseason and a long one. I don't know if you remember, I told you how Zaha preseason was killing it. And you can see he's so match fit, and he's already 3 goals in the league.
Red hot form. It's a good indicator. You're saying basically preseason games are good. Is a good indicator for
very good indicator to show who's ready in terms of player and the team. And United are playing Brighton next, who are one of the so far best performing teams, in my opinion. Even though they only won 1 game, and it's only been 2 games in, they played tremendously against Chelsea, and then I think with Newcastle they beat the next game. They won 3-0. They played really well. So it's going to be a really good game. And, it's a very hard one to predict because it's United, especially this year with Bruno. United just won the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup?
Yeah, Carabao Cup 3-0.
Yeah, and it seems they're on form, I guess.
Against Luton, yeah.
Yeah, Greenwood. Who scored? Rashford?
Rashford, Mata, and Greenwood.
Yeah, so, you can't just rule them out all of a sudden. They can actually beat Brighton. So this year is really tough in terms of fantasy. It's really tough. Because
you have a lot of,
so many midfield options.
Yeah.
Really, you can get De Bruyne and Foden and Salah and stick to the city Liverpool. But then there's Son and Kane and then there's James. Oh, we have to speak about James' performance. That's another game.
Yeah.
Just before we go on to the next game, I just wanted to say that in the Spurs game, the player that stood out for me was actually Harry Kane more than Son. He actually scored 2 disallowed goals in the beginning, which are very marginally offside, and he created 4 chances, and then he scored on a day, on a luckier day, he would have had a hat trick of 4 assists. That's something insane. So his stats were actually much stronger than Son's, even though Son got those 4 goals. So keep him in mind. Don't just look at Son and he has 4 goals. But it's very promising that we saw a lineup of 2 forwards, Kane and Son. Usually Son is pushed to the wing. So this is a very promising sign for those 2 players.
Yeah. And like you said, there'll be a lot of movement in our fantasy leagues because there's so many options. So one day, if you have Son, you're going to go up. If I have Aubameyang, I'll go up. So there'll be a lot of movement. And speaking of that, Everton, the team to watch out for this season. They're playing really well. And like you said, we want to talk about Rodriguez and Calvert-Lewin as well, banged in the goal. So were you surprised with that, or did you see that coming?
I wasn't surprised with it, but another player that was highly underlooked, who had better stats than both of these guys, was Richarlison. Like,
Yeah.
he could have scored, if it was his day, he could have scored a hat trick. It was like all the misses, Calvert-Lewin will come and score. So Calvert-Lewin is the typical poacher who will get you goals. He's a really good player to have in your team. But Richarlison is like...
if it's his day, he's going to go big.
Yeah, he's like Cristiano Ronaldo in terms of every attack he wants to score. In fantasy, you're going to love him because you're going to watch him and you're like, oh, this guy just wants to score.
Yeah.
So he's another guy that I would really highly recommend.
Definitely.
James is the main star for me in that Everton team.
He's adapted really well to the Premier League. There's a lot of talk, will he adapt to the pace and everything, but he's adapted really well so far.
It was straight away, his transformation. It looked like Kevin De Bruyne against West Brom, you know? It's very, very fun Everton team to watch. So you see there's so many options. It's very overwhelming. So when that happens, just go with whoever you think has the better fixture and wish for the best.
Yeah, better fixture and a bit of form. But now, if you just want to talk quickly about next week, game week 3, so many options, like you said. Liverpool and Arsenal is the big game. So Salah, I don't know if you'll go for him as captain. What are the captaincy options, and what are you going to advise everyone to choose from which players for captaincy?
Okay, I'm going to advise everyone to captain Kevin De Bruyne next week. He's my main captaincy option.
Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, game in, game out. The guy just, come on, I don't know. He just keeps getting assists and getting goals. No matter what, he'll return. And he's playing Leicester, who are been leaky at the back. Although they've been winning, they've been leaky at the back. He'll definitely get you points. I'll tell you from now. He'll definitely score or assist that game. If you want to be more risky, you go for Harry Kane or Son or Liverpool game. Although in the past, I would say Liverpool always destroy Arsenal at home. But this looks like a different Arsenal side, much more mature. You can see they beat Leicester 2-0 the other day with a second-string team. And although Leicester had a second-string team too, it shows how mature their young players are. They got the win. And I'm sure they have confidence now to go to Anfield and not get destroyed 4-0. They might still lose, but it won't be a big loss.
Giving them a better fight, yeah.
Exactly. But on the other hand, watching Liverpool play against Chelsea, how well they played, you never know.
And Thiago off the bench looked amazing.
Thiago off the bench did look amazing, but people are forgetting Chelsea had a red card, so that helped a lot.
True.
But him coming on was, like you said, created so many chances.
It makes Liverpool scarier. If they didn't sign these two midfielders, especially Thiago, I think you would say City are slight favourites. But now Liverpool, they look like a scary team.
They do, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and so you're going KDB, and if not, then Kane or Son.
I don't know who I'm going. I don't have KDB in my team,
but your preferred pick.
Yes, another guy that also not really looked at recently is Sterling. And Sterling's stats when he plays with Jesus are way better than when he plays with Aguero. Because
Aguero scores the goals.
Yeah, he gives space to Aguero to go for goals. But with Jesus drops and Sterling goes into the attacking position. So if you're looking also for a differential, I'd say Sterling would be a great captaincy option this week.
Yeah, and you wouldn't Kane and Son. I thought you would prefer them, or maybe not over KDB, but because their fixture is a bit easier, Newcastle compared to Leicester.
Look, I would love to have both of Kane and Son on my team, but in terms of captaincy, I always captain. I try to captain the team that I definitely know will score.
You know that City's going to score.
Yeah, Spurs are just not. They're up and down. one day they're good, one day they're bad. You know? If you're trying to, it's the last 2-3 games of the game of the league. You need to catch up on rivals. You take the risk and you captain someone like Son. But if it's still early, it's just the third game week. You go for the guys who will get you those points. Keep it safe.
Yeah, and what about any of the Chelsea players? They're playing West Brom. Havertz scored a couple of goals in the Carabao Cup. Werner might be a juicy option because they have a good fixture against West Brom, newly promoted side.
Werner, I've seen is a great player, but I've seen he's been pushed to the wing and he drops back a lot. So I can see him getting into the box, maybe getting a penalty, maybe giving an assist, getting the odd goal. But he's not like how Giroud was last season, where Giroud was like the target man, where all the balls will go through him and he'll get those chances. So Werner needs time, I feel. In the Premier League, he needs...
yeah, I got you. Yeah, of course, adjusting to the Premier League.
He needs to adjust to the team. I don't understand why Lampard is playing. He's playing on the left wing. He tries to cut in. He's a very fast player, but I don't know why he's not playing striker. But if you do have him, keep him. Definitely, don't just drop him.
Yeah. Once he starts scoring, probably once he gets used to it, he'll probably start scoring. Yeah. Just to round up, I wanted to ask you about Leeds. Bamford, man.
Yeah, Leeds are honestly very outstanding.
Yeah, Bamford, Costa, Klitsch, yeah, they all score. They're like they're leaking a lot of goals, so I wouldn't recommend the defenders. But like the midfield and attacks, it looks very attractive, especially with the fixtures coming up. If they can score 3 against Liverpool, I don't think fixtures is a problem for these guys. So like they will score.
Yeah. Look, if you're gonna, in my opinion, if you're on wild card, you need to get a budget player. Yeah, Leeds is a great option to get Bamford as a striker or Costa as a midfielder. But if you're not on wild card, I would suggest going for the big guns. Forget about the small team. Go for KDB if you don't have him. Go for.
But to accommodate the likes of KDB and Salah, like someone like Bamford is a really good pick, no? If you want to accommodate like big players in one team.
Yeah.
Suppose you want to go with a KDB and a Kane, for example. Someone like a Bamford is a really good pick to accommodate these players, and he'll also get you points.
But that's why I'm saying on a wild card, if you need to go for a budget player to enable, yes. Okay. If you're going to do 2 transfers with a hit, I wouldn't suggest getting Bamford and KDB. If you're going to get for a hit, get someone like Son and Kane or KDB and like 2 big hitters. You know what I mean?
Martial, Bamford, would you do the swap? Bamford from Martial.
I mean, it depends. What's your plan? If you're gonna bring in Bamford, why would you want to lower Martial to Bamford? Or are you trying to bring someone else more expensive later? Then I wouldn't do it because I only do that move, like you said, that enables me getting someone else.
Okay, you won't do it based on form and like Lee's past performances.
No, I would keep Martial. He'll probably score.
Yeah, so it's, for you, situational. Like it's situational, depending on the
situation. Like I wouldn't just drop a player who's 5.5 from someone that's proven and scored goals much more.
That's a really good point.
No,
that's a really good point.
If you need to do it to bring in the likes of KDB or Salah. Or,
that's a very good point. To accommodate the big players. Yeah, that's a very good point. And do you have any other last advices for game week 3?
For game week 3, let me just look at the fixture. One player that honestly really, really like is Mitrovic. He'll get you those goals. I kept him last week knowing that he'll get something against Leeds.
A lot of people transferred him out because Fulham got smashed in the first game week, so they transferred him out. But those who kept him, like you, I think they reap the rewards. It looks like he's going to score goals.
Yeah, he's like scores goals for Serbia. He's been scoring for Newcastle when he was in Newcastle Premier League before. He's a proven striker, playing at a very cheap price. Like I would keep him in my team, as long as he enables other big players. I'll keep him.
And another striker that I feel that you should watch out for. I have him, Jimenez. He scored against City. He scored in the first game as well. I
That's a really good pick.
because like I mean Vardy is as well, but like he has a tough fixture this week. Like I have so right now I'm looking at the fixtures, and for me Jimenez is a good pick. Wolves are scoring goals. They look like a good team, and I feel the fixtures as well are favorable to them.
Definitely. I completely forgot about Wolves. And yes, I would highly recommend getting Jimenez.
Yeah.
And another big player from Wolves who really impressed me is Podence. He's
Yeah, you talked about this. Yeah, Podence.
yeah, so I bought him in last week.
Yeah, when you talked to him about last week, I checked him out. He's very impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, and he got another assist. He nutmegged KDB and
Yeah.
put it across for Jimenez. Like
Yeah.
that was incredible.
He's someone to watch out for sure. Podence.
Yeah, for sure. And he's very cheap and he plays for a really good Wolves side who have a good fixture. So he's another guy you can bring in your team and enabler.
Yeah.
Now, another pick I would say is I said it earlier, but is Foden. Looks like he's preferred to Mahrez, and a 6.5 million midfielder.
Bargain.
It's a big bargain.
If he's and like with City, he'll always have his chances.
Yeah.
And if you just look at the fixtures now, lastly, I just want to ask your predictions. Give me your predicted top goal scorer for this week.
Goal scorer or point scorer?
Points. Forget goal scorer. Point scorer.
I would say Harry Kane.
Harry, and I don't know if you can do this for individual player, but like if you want for the team who get the most clean sheet points.
Or you want me to say who would get clean sheets from the fixture?
Yeah.
I would say I think Chelsea. No, Chelsea have been leaking bad.
Leeds, no way.
Burnley will get a clean sheet.
Okay, because Southampton.
I think Wolves will get a clean sheet. I think those are the only two that I think might get clean sheets. Everyone else might concede, I think.
Oh, perfect. And lastly, the surprise pick. Who do you think is going to surprise us all this week?
Oh, the surprise pick of this week. I would say
last week it says Calvert-Lewin, Son as well, but Son like he does score, but
a surprise. I'll say Chris Wood.
You're picking that they're attacking that Southampton team. I like that. Looking at the weaknesses, but yeah, I think that summed up a lot of things. Some excellent points, especially about the strategies for this coming week. And to trust your team because you never know what can happen. There's a lot of good midfielders, so you will get points this year. Like we saw Salah get a hat-trick and then Son get 4 goals. So in another week, so pick your midfielder, your star midfielder, and back him for a few weeks, right?
Definitely, yes.
Definitely. And thank you so much for joining me. If you have any last thoughts, let me know. But otherwise, I'll see you next week.
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Best of luck, man. Best of luck. Hope to see you next week. Take care and enjoy game week 3.
You too.